most important thing to remember about Pompe disease is you're not alone.
It's difficult describing Pompe disease because, number one, it affects people differently.
Having a daughter diagnosed with Pompe disease certainly has changed our perspective on everything.
You really have to stay focused and energized and not let the disease wear you down.
You're going to have happiness and sadness and joy and sorrow and all the emotions that you would normally have in life. You'll still have those emotions.
It's part of your life, but it doesn't have to change who you are and what you do.
People are making progress, people are living with it, and there's a lot of hope out there.
The most important thing is not to give up.
My daughter Mia was born January 7th of 2005. She was born full term and a healthy baby. We brought her home from the hospital. She actually was very content and happy and a very easy baby. She slept, she ate. It wasn't until she was probably around 6 weeks old where we started to notice she had trouble with her feedings. She became unusually fussy for some reason at that time. When she went for her pediatrician visit, he was a little concerned because she wasn't gaining as much weight as he would have liked to have seen. He explained to me if there were a metabolic issue going on with her that a heart murmur would be detected, so he did keep a close eye on her heart. When she was about 4.5 months old, we saw the cardiologist who did an EKG and an echocardiogram, and that's when we realized something was truly wrong with Mia. Her heart was larger than an adult's heart. She was in heart failure and was admitted the next day to do a full metabolic workup at the hospital.
You should have made it too close.
She was discharged a few days later. 6 weeks later, we got the results from the biopsy saying that she did indeed have Pompe disease. Looking back now, it's more emotional now than actually going through it. You have this strength that you don't realize that you have to get through such an overwhelming experience.
I do remember the first day she took some steps and my heart stood still because I couldn't believe she was actually standing in front of me, walking. It was only a couple steps between me and my wife, and it was just amazing. You want to walk on your own to the bike? Come on.
When children normally walk, it's exciting to see a child take their first steps, but do you see my child taking her first steps? Look. So we were thrilled. It was so exciting. I had tears in my eyes. We were so excited.
When Mia has to be fitted for braces or a walker or any sort of apparatus to help her with her disease, I don't look at it as, oh, poor Mia, poor me. I look at it as a step to getting better. All these things are to make them better. They're not trying to hurt you, they're trying to help you. So you have to go in with the right attitude.
One of the challenges with Pompe disease is speech and language and oral motor function. Certain sounds are difficult for her. In Mia's case, her B's sound like M's, her D's sound like N's. But once you learn her little language, you begin to understand her. Actually, I'm trying to... Pizza. I was most concerned when she went to school that somebody who had never heard her wouldn't be able to understand her. So we developed what we call a communication book. It has pictures that she can point to if she's having a problem. I was just afraid that when she would go into school using her walker that kids might, treat her a little bit differently. But it's so funny. Children are wonderful. They have embraced her. They want to help her. They want to sit next to her. So the reality was totally different than what my perspective was. The biggest thing I've noticed is the social piece. She has become a lot more social. Children learn from other children, so she's been much more verbal. And academically, she's learning so much.
Oh, don't be scared of little dogs. The dog ain't gonna hurt you. How are you?
She's just like a little sponge absorbing everything, so it's great to see now that I've gotten over my anxieties of letting go.
It's just more natural for her to be around kids her age, and she's really not being as shy. She's becoming more confident. You can really see it from her just being in the house a lot. Me and my wife Dawn have a philosophy of trying to treat Mia just as a regular person. And if she needs help in certain areas, we'll give her help, but we're gonna give her the rope to let her have fun and do her thing. If she has to crawl instead of walk, well, she'll crawl right now. If she can't do something, we'll give her a little hand, but we're trying to make her feel she is her own individual.
I'm hoping that this has become such a part of her life, and hopefully a very positive part of her life, that she'll not think too much differently about it. But certainly the questions are going to arise, you know, why do I need to wear braces and my friends aren't wearing braces? That I will always explain things at an age-appropriate level and keep a positive spin on everything, because it is positive. And I just hope Mia always understands as she gets older how special she truly is. Yeah, she enjoys that more.
My game plan with communicating with Mia is I'll answer any question she ever has, and I'll just try and give her as much information honestly as I can. I don't know if I can do any better than that. I'm not gonna lie to her. I'm not gonna try and fudge anything. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm gonna try and be as real as possible.
It's so natural to have a tendency to want to overprotect your children, but at the same time you're doing damage and not allowing them to have the social aspect of being with other children and doing what every other 3-year-old is doing. When you go out to the market and they see a child with braces or a feeding tube or oxygen, whatever equipment they need, you know people are going to start asking questions. And most of the time, you know, it actually makes me feel better by talking about it. And when they see that you're so open to it, they start to feel more comfortable. And to me, I look at it as any chance to educate other people about this disease is a free opportunity. Come on, come on. Oh, you want to keep going? Good job. It's invaluable that there is some sort of independence for you and your spouse, whether it is taking a drive, going out with friends, or even going out with, you know, you and your spouse going out alone. Just some reality, some freedom, something to clear your mind.
You just need to get everything out. If you need to cry, if you need to scream, if you need to take a walk, you need to just be open with your spouse.
When you're wrapped up in the day-to-day routine, it's so easy to get to the point where you're not taking care of yourself. And you've got to step back at some point and say, you know, even if it's 10 minutes for me to go for a walk by myself.
Everybody at work says, Sean, you're always smiling, you're always joking. Why you always like that? I say, because there's nothing to be sad about.
This disease is not going to slow her down. We're going to do whatever we have to allow her to be independent. I want my daughter to feel like she can do whatever she wants.
At the time that I was diagnosed,